Okay, so these are our favorite, aka best moments of Euro 2016 so far,
And
leading
the
up
worst.
to the final. Katie, what's your
Why are you
best
asking
moment?
me?
Best moments of the Euro?
Iceland. That's where you say Wales.
And Wales!
Wait, we have to start over.
Okay.
Best moment of the tournament isn't really a moment, it's a feeling. Iceland.
And Wales.
Iceland and Wales were fantastic.
Okay.
Even though they're both out.
I'll be a little bit honest here. I was never a fan of Iceland, personally.
Personally, I loved every second of Iceland.
I really wasn't sold. I mean, it's incredible what they did and all. I respect them. Big talent. They got really far. I respect it. I have to like it, though.
You're just salty. You're an England fan.
I'm a little salty. But you should say what you liked about them.
What first drew me to them was when Chris called them a small-minded team who would never amount to anything, and I was like, Chris, I love you, but I hope they prove you wrong.
Did, however, love Wales. Gareth Bale, obviously one of the best players in the world. I think he did really good things for Wales. Everyone's like, well, what does Wales have to do to prove they're not a one-off? Like, just keep doing what you're doing. They didn't get lucky. They played well. They scored lots of goals. Genuinely had a great offense. Good defense, too. I mean, a lot of those players are great players in the Premier League. They're just not, you know, they're undervalued. I think they could do a lot more. I think this is the beginning for them.
The second best moment.
Cristiano Ronaldo bringing them back from the dead 3 times in the same game.
Literally. Like,
The
Hungary
dead.
would score, and then Chris would be like, nope! And then just,
The commentator was like, well, with this result, Portugal are knocked out of the Euro. And Chris is like,
I hate when they
"Bull.
say that. Like,
This
there's
result
still a
stands."
second half to be played.
I think it was spectacular. I think it was a great performance by him.
Honestly.
Oh, of course, it
Iconic.
had to be the back heel to win that record. But as soon as he got that first one,
Yeah.
I was like, that's it.
Somehow they dragged themselves to the final.
And that's the thing that people don't appreciate. Cristiano Ronaldo can carry them single-handedly.
Nani and Kit Charisma helped, but
That's
Chris
true.
was a driving factor in the reason why they're in the final now.
Low key, Nani was the most impressive player for Portugal for me. He
Proved
scored
himself.
the only goal in the Iceland draw. Nani also scored the other day against Wales.
Yep.
In the deflected
I
shot.
didn't watch that game.
As world class as Cristiano Ronaldo is, and as essential as he is for Portugal, let's be honest, he's not having a great tournament.
But that one game was our top 2.
That one game against Hungary was one of the best moments, I think. While Cristiano Ronaldo is not having the best tournament of his entire life, a couple people are.
Antoine Griezmann.
100% best tournament of his life. Second tournament of his life.
The only.
It was the only Euro. But no, you can't
been
argue.
great.
You can't argue with 6 goals in 6 games.
Mhm.
Honestly, he wasn't really on my radar that much until the Champions League final,
As a Madrid fan, I don't like him.
but he's not really alone, which is more than you can say for Bale,
Yeah.
who's also having a great tournament, by the way. Free kicks, unbelievable. Bale.
I haven't watched a single Wales game.
He
Except for the one against... They only won because of the own goal, and I was like, I hate Wales.
He has kind of cemented himself as the best free kick taker. ESPN said, out of the top 5 set-piece goals that have happened in this tournament, Gareth has 2 of them. That's world class. And while
World class.
he's not alone in dragging Wales as far as he dragged them, he's done everything they've wanted him to do. He couldn't have done any more for them.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, though, Dimitri Payet. Him, Griezmann, and Giroud. Match made in heaven. I watched the first France game. I was scared. I was like, this team can get to the end. And they did. Also, another good moment, Conte's Italian team. He did way better than anyone could have expected. Dragged an average Italy as far as he did. Almost dethroned the world champions.
But they didn't.
But they didn't.
Okay, watching Germany versus Italy penalty shootout was both disgustingly gross, because it was so bad, but also hilarious and gripping at the same time.
It was
But
amazing.
also gripping. To see 3 Germans
Oh.
miss a penalty.
Best day of my life. Ozil missed the first one.
It was the second time he'd missed a penalty in the tournament.
And then
Mueller, but Sebastian missed. But then Italy missed 4! Like, it wasn't enough that Germany missed 3, which was great enough, but then Italy missed 4. He,
4.
like, does the little pitter patter, and then he like skies it. I was like, what are you doing?
He is doing the Running Man.
It was disgusting.
The guy, the Italian, looking Neuer right in the eyes. Chip it and beat you. And he misses! Skies it, right? Mueller's penalty was bad because he has no confidence because he's never scored in the Euro thus far. He's watching the goalie, so of course he shoots it right into his waiting arms. But what was worse was the ball that just rolls right next to the post. It skims the post.
The worst one is the last one. Because, like, Gigi had it. He just jumps over it and it goes under him, and then maybe he's just like, he's all rusty, he's old, maybe he wasn't feeling it.
Maybe he's too tall. It took too long to get to the ground.
There you go. Iker would have saved it. Okay, the second worst.
This is all you. This is all
Watching
you.
these Cinderella teams lose was just the worst feeling in the world. I just want to root for the underdog because I'm like, Wales could have proved the world wrong. Then France like crushes Iceland, and then Portugal crushes Wales. But watching France beat Iceland 5-2 was so infuriating. I was just imagining like an Iceland-Wales final, and I was like, how amazing would that be? Like, the teams you didn't think would ever go that far in the final. It would just be the biggest slap in the face to every big team.
Speaking of which,
All the big teams were disappointing. Not all, but
almost every single one of them, because
Spain, England, Belgium, train wrecks.
and then Germany, which
Well, they did make it to the semifinals, but they were just like decidedly poor.
that is the thing, because you are the world champions. And you're telling me you can't come back from a first half penalty kick? Like, you
What are you doing?
fell apart. They fell
Genuinely
apart.
fell apart.
They threw the game away.
Spain.
Spain, what can you say? They got outplayed by Italy, out-tactician. Their defense was abysmal, quite honestly.
Sergio and Piqué just can't work together.
Either they're the best center-back duo in the world, or the worst. There's no in between.
Although they are now friends since they officially followed each other on Twitter.
They're now friends. They've only been on the national team together since 2008, maybe?
Just one Piqué goal and a Sergio Piqué hug, and suddenly they're BFFs.
I just don't understand really what happened. I don't know what went wrong with the Spanish defense, because it was like we had no semblance of a back line. The fullbacks pushed way too far up. Neither Piqué nor Sergio were ever there. Every time I saw an Italian player making the break, there's our center back 5 yards behind him. Chasing him! We're too attacking minded. Nobody wants to track back. Honestly, work rate wins games. I say that.
Caitlin's motto.
I say that 100 times a game. But it's true. Spain didn't have the work rate. They didn't want to play defensively, and they lost.
tiki-taki, like, is either hit or miss.
At halftime, I kind of knew.
It still hurt all the same, though.
Oh, it hurt. Oh, it hurt.
It hurt a lot.
If you had told me that my next hope would be Portugal and they would go to the final, I would have laughed right in your face.
What about England? Who was also bad.
England was also so poor.
I mean, no offense, but I didn't expect any less.
Everyone was like, this is going to be England's year. And being
They always say that.
of English descent, I knew better.
I knew we would go out on penalties.
Well,
but
I
they
hoped. I hoped we'd go out on penalties at least. But no. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't.
Okay, here's the thing. Iceland paid England. Both agreed, like, hey, let's just draw it. And then, so they're at a draw, and England's like, okay, everything's going to plan, like, we got this, like, the draw is all set, we're gonna lose on penalties gracefully, like we always do. And then Iceland was like, bitch, you thought! And then they scored again, and England's like, this wasn't part of the plan! And then they lost.
Roy Hodgson genuinely stepped down.
Within minutes.
He was like, they're gonna sack me, so I gotta step down. You have, debatably, the best players in the Premier League. I think they're all overrated, personally, because they didn't do anything.
They never
But
did. And they're like, this is our year! I'm like, nothing's changed!
in the past, it was shocking. You had Lamps, you had Gerrard, you had John Terry, you had Ashley Cole, you had Rio, Crouchy. I was like, you should win some stuff, didn't win. And now they have Eric Dyer, Wilshere, they had Jamie Vardy, they had Harry Kane. They had decent players. They just failed to do anything. If you like what you see,
hit that subscribe button.
Because we will continue to talk about soccer and things we like and things we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
We do requests.
There is a plethora of things that we would love to talk about. So if you have any suggestions for future soccer-related video or football, leave a comment below and let us know what you thought of this one. I don't know how to end this. What was that?
I covered it with my hands.
No, you didn't.
I tried.
It'd be like...
I use the vernacular that I hear. So I'm like, oh yeah, like one of the pundits. And she's like, what's a pundit? I'm like, I know what a pundit is.
It's a commentator, Mom.
My mom's always like, you're American.
You're American.
And I'm like, the advert. And she's like, the what?
The advert? I hate you. He winked.
I can't believe he's done that. I could have put my foot through the TV.